Here we are inside the Bessacarr E520. If we firstly go to the main control panel just here, we turn the 12 volt on just at this point here. Once we've done this, we can turn the water pump on. We can select between the batteries, so we can select the vehicle battery or the leisure battery. Whichever battery you've selected whilst you're hooked up to the main supply is the battery you are charging. And we can view levels, so condition of leisure, condition of vehicle battery, how much water is in the fresh tank and how much water is in the waste tank. We then have the awning light on and off, and then we have the main isolator for all of the lights on board, and then they can all be individually turned on and off on their own switches. Access to the freshwater tank just here. Unscrew the cap if you want to add Puriclean etc. to clean the water system. Just there. Washroom. Shower just there. Make sure shower screen is secured for travel. Toilet just here. Open to the cassette. Push to flush. And level indicator just here. Light switch just here. Microwave just here. Make sure plate is removed for travel. You've got quick start just here and stop. You've got power settings etc. just there. Hob, one electric hot plate just here. On this one, no light comes on to let you know it's on, so do be careful. Then everything else is fairly the norm, with you push in, twist and then press the igniter. There we go. Next, the grill. Again, push in, twist. And then the oven. Gas isolation taps. Just there, they are colour coded and then match on the little sticker just there, and then the hot plate is just plugged in there. Thetford fridge just here, on and off on this one just here. This is an automatic model, so if I now just select auto, just by pressing this button here, as long as you are on auto, it will find the best power source it can for you. So because we're hooked up to the main supply at the moment, it will automatically put us onto the mains. If we then remove ourselves from the mains, it will then attempt to fire itself up onto gas, and as soon as we start the engine of the vehicle, it will then go over to 12 volt maintain to keep itself cold on the move. We can take it out of this, as you saw, just by pressing this button, so we can manually put it onto 12 volt maintain. We're going to get an error code at the moment because the engine's not running. We can manually put it onto gas or manually on mains, but at the end of the day, auto is the easiest one to have it on. Temperature control just here. fridge with a secondary travel catch just at the bottom, just there. So if you have got a lot of stuff in there, you can flap that across. And then the freezer compartment just above. Wardrobe, so freestanding table just here, and then also the television aerial, so the digital amplifier just here, on and off, just there, low boost and normal boost just there, and then unscrew, mast up, get into the position you require, and then lock into place. If you want to flip it from the horizontal position to the vertical, just turn the tail at the bottom just here, and then make sure we're back down again for travel. Also in here at the bottom we have the consumer unit, so we have the trip switches just here, so we have the individual MCBs, RCD and test button just there, numbered up and then correspond on the sticker just here. And then we have the 12 volt fuses just here, and again they then correspond on this side of the sticker. Isolator switches above, so if we want hot water and heating on the main supply, we just need to make sure that these are on. Obviously if we turn them off, we're just going to confuse the controls. And this one here turns the battery charger on and off, and again we want to be charging the batteries when we're hooked up to main supply, so again really can be just left alone. This one will illuminate if you have reverse polarity connected to the van. If that does happen, it doesn't matter, these more modern units will reverse it and make it safe in the van anyway. These buttons here are mainly for the workshop, but we can press the select button and it will give us conditions of the batteries and how many amps etc we're using. And then lastly, full system shutdown, so if we're not using the van for long periods of time, we don't have the option of being able to connect it up to the main supply etc, we can press this one and kill any residual draw on the leisure battery. Also in here we have the solar panel regulator. Do not need to do anything with it, it will just smart charge the batteries as it's required, and as you can see, it with the two flashing lights, it charges both leisure and vehicle. If we now go up into this corner just here, we have the controls for the heating and hot water. So the bottom one literally just picks the power source that you want to be using. So the top one with two wavy lines is main supply using 2 kilowatts. Then if we go down to one wavy line, that's main supply using 1 kilowatt. If we have no mains, we can flick it to the middle with a little picture of the flame and solely run off the gas. And if we flick it down, we can then go into dual fuel, so we can go to one wavy line and a picture of a flame, so gas and mains at 1 kilowatt, or gas and mains at 2 kilowatts. Once you've picked this, you then need to go to the top dial and then pick what you would like on. So we're off at the minute with us being in the middle. If we now flick all the way up, this one here is hot water at 60 degrees. The next one is hot water at 40 degrees. Then back to off again. If we then flick down, we have a little flame on its own, which just represents the heating on its own. We then control the temperature of the heating on the inner dial just here. And then lastly, if we flick it all the way down, we have heating and hot water at 60 degrees. If we now go underneath the bench seat. We have some more gas isolation taps just there, again colour coded, and the Truma boiler just here. Water pump just here, and then the drain valve for the boiler just there. So relatively normal stuff. Flap up to drain the boiler, flap over to seal the drain valve back up again to be able to fill it back up again. Under this bench seat we then have the location of the leisure battery just here, and the main 12 volt fuse is also just here as well.